Okay, YouTubers, if you notice, I have removed all of the over-the-table Atlas switch machines that were on the intermodal yard ladder and everything that was above the underground or the second level. The reason for that, I thought long and hard, and with the helpful suggestions of some fellow YouTube railroaders. Alex, you know who you are. I decided to go ahead and purchase a couple more tortoises and these remote tortoise mounts. They're a little tedious to install, but once it's on, they work great. You can see I also purchased another hair for the last switch that I need to wire up on the main line. Okay, as you can see, I've installed a couple of these Tortoise Remote switch mounts. And they don't particularly have to be at a certain angle to the turnout, because the plastic tube or the Teflon tube with the steel wire inside takes care of any particular angle that you would need to install it at. And this is what you see from above. All you see is a small wire coming out of a tube, and that tube is at rail height. Now the installation of the tube could be behind the throw bar or in front of the throw bar, as I had to do in this case here, because of this structure that was blocking the remote from actually placing it behind the throw bar. So in this case I had to put it in front of the throw bar. Either way, it still looks good and looks a lot better than an Atlas switch machine on top. So as I said, you can either put it here, the tube, or here. In this case, the one that I'm going to videotape, I've already pre-drilled the hole with a 1/16 inch drill bit. Next step is to put the tube through the hole and make sure that the top of the tube is flat or parallel to the tops of the ties, as so. Right, the kit comes with these instructions and these parts that you will have to assemble, including the tube, which I took from this package, the brass tube. And you also have the push rod, which is a piece of music wire, and all the bolts that you need. For now, you need to get this sprue with 3 parts, these 3 parts. Go ahead and trim off these parts. Just take a hobby knife and clean out the parts where they attach to the sprue, just like any model. Alright, so you'll need 2 pan head screws and this part here, which is the main remote activator. The idea is to mount this part over the tube, center the tube in the part, and then mount it, drilling 2 holes and placing the mounting it with the mounting screws. You need to move this part to where you are going to put the rest of the assembly, because you're going to have an arm that sticks out through here, and once I get to that part of the installation you'll see what I mean. But for now, in this case, I'm just going to put it straight towards the center of the layout and mount the tortoise and the rest of the assembly in that direction. Now, because I'm working in such a tight space here, it's impossible to get a drill and drill from below to mount this part. So what I've had to do is use my Dremel with a 90-degree adapter, and that way I can get to where I need to drill. Alright, once you have it mounted and the tube, the brass tube, centered inside of this hole, at that point you need to take a pen and mark the opening to where the bar will come out from, the torque bar. That's why it's important to orient this in the direction of where you want your torque bar to rotate to, which ultimately will lead to where you're going to place your tortoise, somewhere in this area. Okay, you need to make a center mark on that arc that you drew, which is the center of your travel, and then from the tube to that mark you're going to draw a line, and that will be the angle at which your music wire throw rod will be positioned. That's what the line is going to look like once you extend it from the first mark that you made in line with the tube. Put a ruler and mark it out. Now, this is why I like to double check things, and sometimes the instructions, although are helpful, sometimes you have to find your way around them. As you can see, the initial line that I drew is way off. When I put the bar, the throw bar on, if you move it, the exact center of the throw bar would be approximately right there. And you can see how off that line is. So I'm going to redraw another line, and let's see how it comes out.